for day 2 of Ferrari Challenge North America's weekend number 4. This incredible circuit, of course, and that behind us, the corkscrew. My name is Andrew Coley, alongside me, Tony Verlander. Tony, you called this the most famous corner in American motorsport yesterday. It's so cool. You can hear the cars bottoming out, but it's such a special challenge as well.
Yeah, this is a very particular corner, a very difficult task also for the coaches. What to tell your driver, where to brake, how to take the racing line. The entry is blind, meaning that you don't know the apex and you don't know whether and how deep the track drops. Do you cut a lot of curb inside here or you leave it a little bit of margin? Cars are bottoming with the low tire pressure early in the race. They are bottoming, same thing in qualifying. So very particular part of this Laguna Seca track.
Everyone up with their cameras watching deck chairs as well. It's a fantastic place to see the action. A lot of action yesterday. A number of the drivers saying that the tyre wear here is quite high, and towards the end of the race you're really having to manage those special Pirellis.
Yeah, this is the story of Laguna Seca. This is a high tire deck track, and then they need to predict that for the race. Maybe a little bit more aggressive setup for qualifying, and then something that saves the tire a little bit in the race. But we also mentioned yesterday the importance of qualifying. It's quite difficult to overtake here, so the main target is to qualify as high as you can.
Awesome, let's go, day 2. Welcome back to Laguna Seca for weekend number 4 of Ferrari Challenge North America 2026. That is an empty track, which is soon going to be packed with cars for the Copper Shell race, followed very shortly afterwards by Trofeo Pirelli. Great grids, great racing yesterday. Wonderful conditions here in California to go and attack turn 1, 3 wide, hopefully. Make our job here in the commentary box nice and tough. My name's Andrew Coley. Tony Verlander is alongside me. Nina Jade Paul reporting from the paddock. We started the season over at Thermal, then it was Sebring, Kota, now Laguna Seca and Sonoma close to each other, both on the calendar and physically here in California. Road America, and then the Finale Mondiale at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya in November, where all the various Ferrari series from around the world will come together in a big celebration of champions. Well, a beautiful place to go racing, as you can see from our drone shots, and this is the circuit here. So the kink over the crest, then turn 2, the long double apex hairpin, and turn 3 right in front of Casa Ferrari. Tony, have you done your laps? Did you go out today?
I did.
How did we get on around here? Do we remember how hard this place is?
Yeah, I got on pretty well.
Okay.
It was nice feeling driving. Lisa Clark owns a car that I used to race many years back, so 458 GT3. I think I posted a lap time 125.
Okay, sweet.
If you take out a few years, it should have been reasonable lap. I mean, I'm a senior citizen, so.
Tony Verlander is not a senior citizen and is clearly very capable. Good to see you back out on track.
It was fun.
Mate.
It was good fun.
Yeah, really good. We'll bring some of that in when we get into the racing today. 29 Celsius, temperatures come up. It was cold and cloudy this morning, but since then it is now warm and sunny. So I think we can expect that the conditions will be pretty similar to yesterday, and that means that we might be hanging on to those Pirellis by the end of the race. Let's see. Somebody is out in the weather is Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, it's lovely and warm and sunny now, but don't be deceived, it's still quite chilly. When that wind picks up, you go, ooh. So it's definitely a little cooler than it was at this time yesterday, so it could still have an impact on tyre performance and grip levels. But we can expect some exciting battles up and down the grid today. All eyes on the top 2 in Shell, Blake Rosser and Charlie Menard. For those who missed it, Blake overtook Charlie on the final lap yesterday during the race. There was some contact. Blake crossed the line as winner, but he did receive a penalty and the win was reinstated to Charlie. So it's part 2 today. Who will come out victorious? That'll be a fantastic battle. Looking down further into Shell Am as well, the top 4 guys are all incredibly competitive and consist of our winner yesterday, Tim Dwee, and our current championship leader, Melissa Koziris. There's going to be battles wheels up and down, left and right. I would not go anywhere. We're in for a great race.
Thank you, Neela Jade. Yes, we are indeed. We're looking forward, as we said earlier, to having to stretch our legs to keep up with this one. We really did. I nearly lost my voice by the end of yesterday. It was so much fun. Tony, always said we're going to have a look in a minute at the 2027 calendar, but Ferrari does a good job of moving this series around, maintaining some of the classics, but also switching things up and making sure we visit some new tracks. It's always a fun night when the calendar comes out.
Yeah, we have the best tracks of North America. A little bit of change few places every year, but then the basic frame, how the trailers and teams move around the North America stays more or less the same, and yeah, just it's about the racetrack, but also what we have around the racetrack. It's also the events that Ferrari organizes. Yesterday night there was a beautiful gala dinner, a good atmosphere, and this is also about the Ferrari's concept. It's about having fun on track, but also outside the track.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Well, we're looking forward to 2027. We've got 2026 to finish first of all, but you can take a look at last night's calendar reveal. So interesting, Indianapolis and Watkins Glen are back next year. We've got a brand new track for me again in Mosport up at Canada. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, many times.
What's it like?
Yeah, a slow lap, fast. Really, really high-speed track. A few areas that you really need to have big confidence with the race car. IMSA, in the past ALMS as well, have raced there basically every year. So I know the track really well. Actually, from the calendar, I know all the tracks apart from Thermal, where I haven't raced, but this year obviously we visited Thermal as the opening round. So beautiful calendar, and if I would be in my prime, I would like to participate in the Pirelli category.
Well, the thing is, Tony, now you've been out again and had a go in the GT3 car, I'm wondering, are we going to lose you from the announcing team? Are you going to head back out and do 296 Challenge?
No. I love this. I love this part of being able to see the beautiful racing and also give a little bit of input what the drivers feel. So I would stay here in the commentary.
All right. Well, I'm very happy to hear that.
Yes.
I look forward to it. What was it like when you jumped back in the car? Obviously, you're a professional driver. You're still racing at home a bit with go-karts and things different but the same. What had you forgotten about Laguna, or what maybe reminded you when you jumped in the car?
Just the general speed of these cars, and if I refer my lap time to lap times what the challenge drivers are doing, so they are going really, really fast. The cornering speed are impressive, and also the elevation around the corkscrew and everything that happens after that. Corkscrew is impressive, but down the hill, all the sequence of corners as well, you can carry a lot of speed. Like here, turn 6, it's just tap on the brakes, and you need to carry a lot of speed, so the entry needs to be precise, stay very close and tight to the inside curb, and then you have more margin in the exit, and you can carry more speed. If you miss the entry apex, then you normally drop a wheel, the exit of 6, and then you are in big trouble.
So accuracy and get it right on the way in, and then early on the throttle on the way out, up the hill, down the hill, bit more patience.
Yeah, confidence also, obviously with the front axle, but mainly with the rear axle, so with the rear tires. And if we think Johnny Kaminski's comments yesterday, lost the rear tires a bit, you drop dramatically the lap time. You just lose a lot of confidence. Once you enter with the front of the car, you just hammer down the throttle, and you need the rear to be really on the track, and you need to have the grip on the rear tires.
Okay, it's going to be. I'm glad to hear you back out on track, mate, and we'll look forward to Tony's brilliant analysis as we get underway with the racing. Very close fight yesterday between Charlie Menard and Blake Rosser. Rosser made a dive in the last corner. The stewards didn't like it. She got a penalty overnight. But this man always has a smile on his face and absolutely loves his racing. It's his car that you're looking at right now, and we caught up with him earlier on in the weekend.
I love racing. I follow Formula One. I follow IMSA, but it's just fun. It's always had the bug to want to drive, you know. I had a passion in my late 30s and into my 40s, but that was kind of the start of it all. Once I did Corsa Pilota and Mount Tremblant, I was hooked. I said, okay, it's time to do it. Never been to thermal, so my first time was during the test, but I did well there. I started, I think, 4th on the Saturday race, finished 1st. So that was great. It was exciting for my first weekend and being at a track I'd never been to. Sebring, same thing, never been to Sebring. It was a learning curve, but I got a pole there and I got a win. Then once we went to Coda, another track never driven, and loved that track. And that was a blast, and I got the pole there. So it's been fun. I mean, I love it. Laguna Seca is a track I really love. There's quite a few fast drivers in Shell now, so it'll be a bit of a challenge. I hope to do well. My goal is always to win and get a pole, so I'm going to be pushing for that, and we'll see how it shakes out. But it's been great. Love the announcers. They're awesome. Get to spend a lot of good time with those guys, especially in Texas during the party. So looking forward to seeing them again. Really enjoy it. Love the Ferrari family. Love all the competitors, and it's been great.
What an absolute legend Blake Rosser is. Lovely man, isn't he?
Yeah, very good racer. Also very impressive is the fact that most of the tracks are completely new for him. So basically every race week, the progress and the procedure is the same. First learn the track, then step by step increase and improve the speed. And he's proved this year that he can really race hard. Also yesterday for us was a good fun lap on the fight for the lead until the last corner of the last lap.
Yeah.
And good fight between Blake Rosser and also
Charlie
Menard. And Blake Rosser's dream, one day to own or to drive 499P Modificata.
Well, that'd be cool to see, wouldn't it? He started. I love the fact he started that journey, with Corsa Pilota and just getting back into the sport.
Yeah, this is the basic ladders of what Ferrari wants our drivers to do. Do Corsa Pilota, if you are interested, do more Club Challenge, and then one day you can be racing here with us in Ferrari Challenge.
And of course the various different series, as we mentioned, all over the world coming together at the end of the year for the Finale Mondiale, which is in Barcelona this year at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, Spain. There's Andrew Parker, who made those 2 brilliant passes yesterday up at the crest of the corkscrew, which we loved. We also love ice cream, which is all down the side of the car. Look at that, ice creams, floats, sundaes. Might be one of my favourite liveries, Tony.
Yeah, we have plenty of beautiful cars in the Ferrari Challenge Grid. Liveries that they have the trailers painted or wrapped the same. They have the drink bottles, they have the racing suits, the helmets, everything is done with the special liveries, and many stories behind the liveries as well.
See there the special little board that the mechanics have made up, so they got the tyre pressure gauge and the notes there, and final preparations underway. So I think it's about time we go racing.
I absolutely agree. So let's not waste any time. Drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
And we're underway then for day 2. Copper Shell first, followed by Trofeo Pirelli. Good clean racing yesterday. I think we had 1 full course yellow, and with the amount of action we had, there were loads of drivers got their cars out of the way after, not that much contact, I didn't think, just a few little bits when you consider the size of the grid, and some great passing, which we didn't see so much of last year here, but we saw a lot of yesterday. I think it's a promising afternoon. Yeah,
big grid in Copper Shell and Copper Shell Am. I met with few drivers after qualifying. So Pirelli driver Roberto Perina, very happy with the setup today and missed the pole by hundredths of a second. Jan Bernier, the same thing. He said just yesterday sliding all over the place, and today different story. So a lot more performance from there. And I also met with the Coppa Shell Am pole driver Fabian Sperman, and I said, what happened on the last lap? Where did that come from? I suddenly woke up and I knew how to drive.
Really?
And he did on his 10th flying lap, he did the pole position.
Absolutely brilliant. It was as the checkered flag came out as well. So brilliant stuff from qualifying. It's looking super close, and I say we are about to get racing underway. Here we go with day 2. Copper Shell race number 2 here from Laguna Seca, rolling out from pit lane and heading for half an hour of action, 30 minutes, however many laps they can get done. The lap time here is pretty short, so yesterday it was an impressive race distance. We have a very big grid here in Copper Shell. Going to get those cars down the turn and we'll start running you through it. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, we had a little bit different style of race starts yesterday. Some of the starts really slow coming out of the last turn and really late acceleration. Some of the other cars cleared early. They almost went on throttle before the green flag. So let's see how today things go through turn 2, turn 3. And drivers now, they have one race start under their belt here and they know what to expect. Some mirrors were flying at the start yesterday, so a lot of tension, a lot of expectation for this race start.
Okay, here we go then. Let's take a look at the grid on the front row. Charlie Menard and Blake Rosser. Row 2, Kevin Orsini in Lightning McQueen and Lewis Flory. Row 3, Chuck Whittle on the inside, Ryan Dayton on the outside. Row number 4, Roy Carroll and Andrew Parker. Parker made those great passes yesterday. Row 5, Joel Rose, Javier Rodriguez Borgio. And then on to row 6, it is Mike Luley and Michael Owens. Row 7, Fabian Sperman, pole sitter for the AM category with Tim Tweet. To row 8, Jamie Garrett and Melissa Kozira, all female row 2. Brilliant lap by Garrett at the end of the session. Adam Bafella and Steve Check are on row 9. Row 10 is Lance Corley and Ed Vartugian. Row 11, inside is Helen Chu, on the outside Daniel Roberts. Row 12, Henry Hummel and Danny Patel. Row 13 is Bernard Gomez and Jeffrey Nunberg. And row 14, we are looking at Jeffrey Keel and Michael Crow. Nunberg could be interesting from back there. He's a good passer.
Yeah, Jeff Nunberg had an accident. He had moments in the last turn where there were many cars going off and he damaged his race car as well. Not a good qualifying, but Jeff often can provide a good race.
So let's see what it can do here. Packed grid, as we said. Very much looking forward to it. Charlie Menard with the yellow mirrors, Blake Rosser alongside him. Those two came together in this corner yesterday.
And Michael Owens, P12, with the penalty from yesterday, started with new tyres.
Okay, so he may have a good chance as well, though. Some of these guys have got 10 laps on their tyres, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Look for the green flag up under the bridge. The big gantry which crosses the start-finish line here. Once the green flag comes out, they're all holding back and waiting for the green. There it is, and away now from the front row. Charlie Menard and Blake Ross behind Lewis Flory and Kevin Orsini. Orsini's got the jump on Flory, it looks like. And he's having a look up the inside, Orsini here. Oh, contact behind. That's Andrew Parker has tagged the back, and Orsini's gone round as well. That might be contact with Chuck Whittle, I think, because Whittle was in hot on the brakes as well, although his front of his car doesn't look too damaged. Lewis Flory spun as well. Jamie Garrett looking to the inside here, and there's a yellow flag waved in turn 1, which means they can't really pass here. So that's going to make a mess of turn 1 spin on the outside. I think that's Steve Check that's gone round. Oh, Kevin Orsini retires, or is at least heavily damaged early in this race. So Tim Tweet leads. Behind is Jamie Garrett. Melissa Kozira looks like she's in P4. Fabian Sperman is P3. But there's a lot to pick there, Tony. And also with a wave yellow in turn 1, did anybody pass on that second start? Yeah, so a bit of carnage, that's a shame.
It was one of the most beautiful race starts for Coppa Shell. Everything was lined perfectly. 2 lines next to each other.
They waited for the green.
They waited for the green. It was really, really nice going in until turn 2. And I think it was Parker who really overshot the braking, touched another cars, and then disaster was ready. And also difficult for Coppa Shell Am, and like you said, they approached turn 2 with a yellow flag, so that was not ideal for their start.
Definitely not. Charlie Menard comes through, full course yellow, not a massive surprise. So let's get the order as they come over the line. So Menard's going to come up first of all. I'm pretty sure it's Rosser and then Whittle. Now I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if there was contact for Whittle, and apologies to him if I'm wrong. There was he came in quite hot, and then Parker came in much hotter behind him. But we'll look at the replays and try and figure out what's happened. In the AM category, you can see it's Tim Tweet leading, and they probably haven't seen the full course yellow flags yet, but they will do now. From Jamie Garrett. Oh no, Fabian hasn't seen it, and he's going for moves left, right and centre. And now he sees a truck coming out from the inside, and he gives the position back. Okay, good lad. So he gave the position back, but you've got to have your eyes on those gantries. So
yeah, a lot of responsibilities here are for the drivers, but also team.
Yeah.
tell on the
Yeah,
radio.
true. Yeah.
make the
Especially
call.
when he's that close behind, you can't necessarily
Yeah.
see the gantry.
You often need to be eyes forward, and not always with the Marshall points. Cars are very close to each other. Here, this is going to be interesting. A lot of things happening here into turn 2.
So Whittle inside in silver with Orsini. Watch for Andrew Parker coming from a long way back. He picks up Flory, but I'm not sure what
Orsini,
happened
Whittle.
between Whittle and Orsini. That's hard to tell. Then Orsini, is his rear wing off already? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a bit strange because initially it looked like Parker was slowing down as the other drivers did, but then suddenly during the braking he just got more speed. So he either left the foot from the brake pedal trying to overtake other cars where they were already rotating into turn 2. So the initial braking point, in my opinion, for him was fine, but then what happened after that then caused a lot of issues. And yeah, Flory was collected there with the Parker just having too much speed, and he couldn't avoid.
So we can take another look. This is Shell Am, so there's still Orsini. Look, Flory is in the road. You're waiting for the cars to come through. Oh, wow, people turning around. Was that Roy Carroll, I think, was having to do a U-turn. Tim Dweek gets there with Sperman on the outside. And then on the exit, it's, Steve Czech spins. Yeah. Flory gets back in again.
Looks like he spun on his own. He was very wide, mid-corner, turn 2, and he was
Steve
just
Czech.
off the line. He was just off the line.
There's Danny Patel, and there is Steve Czech after that spin to check down in P22.
Yeah, Fabian from P1 in Coppa Chelam went to P3, so he didn't have an ideal start.
No, he did not, and Garrett got through, but the question, of course, is where is the waved yellow, and when were the passes made? So Jamie passed Fabian in the corner, but I don't know, again, it's hard for the drivers because it's off the start. You're not. I mean, we haven't had a waved yellow in turn 1 for a long. Well, maybe not sure in the 2 years we've done the commentary together. Let's have another look. Go on, you talk us through, Tony.
Yeah,
so Flory on the outside.
Yeah, the white and blue car further back. He has the good time of braking, but it just doesn't slow enough. Then a little touch with Carroll.
Yes, he had contact with Carroll. I wonder if that
upset the braking, and then everything happened after that.
Carroll got spun.
Difficult
as well.
now for the Coppa Shell arm drivers. They're approaching turn 2. So Fabian here is P2. He lost in the acceleration.
And then look for here on the inside.
Yeah, so that's an overtaking.
It's a good move by Jamie, but is it under yellow? That's the question mark. And then behind, it's really tough, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully no penalties. Maybe the race director could advise the teams what order they want the cars to be. Maybe if they give penalties for the start.
Lewis Flory
this is the hit he had for rear left. He was already in the corner, and then he had a big hit from behind on the rear left.
I mean, it's
nothing he can do.
No, it's a good time to come in, though. At least you can straighten things out while the full course yellow is out, and maybe not lose as much time as you would. But
yeah, he went off yesterday as well, and then he was posting the fastest lap times.
Yeah, we had high hopes, didn't we? Because he'd had a good qualifying. Lewis was in P4.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not the way we want to start, but that's the way it goes. The fastest laps look Dayton and Bufalo, but I think that won't count because it was full course yellow straight away. What I'm interested to see, or what I want to try and figure out, is where Sperman lost to Dweet, because Dweet was a long way ahead by the time they got to turn 1. So I don't know whether we can take one more look at the Shell Am start and see if we can figure out, because our camera, of course, was still watching the crash in turn 1, which is totally understandable, and so wasn't necessarily back for the Am start.
Basic rule is Fabian is leading the group, and from green flag you can accelerate and start racing. I think that's the rule.
From when you see the green flag.
Yes, that's the rule there. So Tim he cannot be ahead of Fabian before the green flag.
We're going to see if we can get the AM start from a different camera. The guys in the TV truck are working on it. Thank you very much to them for all their hard work as always. So Dweet here leads Coppa Shell Am from Garrett and Sperman. Sperman was the pole sitter. Fabian, yes, you might remember, fought his way through and finished P3, but he actually was given a post-race penalty as well of 30 seconds, which dropped him back down the order. That was for contact with Steve Czech, who had the spin here. So Roy Carroll dropping down the order, so he must have pitted. Left-hand side of your screen, you can see he's tumbling down the timing screen. So Flory and Carroll probably in the pits. We know that we've got retirements already. Andrew Parker is out. I don't think Crow started the race. Orsini, we haven't seen Orsini. We know the rear wing was broken. We haven't seen whether he made it back or not.
Yeah, but he had a big damage. He had the biggest damage. He was
Orsini.
going. Yeah, he was going very slow on the
I
right-hand
saw
side
with the
here.
wing, but I didn't spot the rear quarter.
Yeah, he was completely out with the toe and
Okay,
everything.
okay, so he's gone then.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah.
So as
there was a lot going on, wasn't there?
Yes, as far as we see.
This is the Shell-Am start. So you take a look
Yeah,
at this
eyes on
for
the
us,
front
Tony.
row now.
Yeah, so they need to look for their own green flag. So check the gantry and you see there's no green flag.
He went.
You think he's gone? Or they've all gone. They've all gone early, but to be fair,
Difficult to say.
was he in a different gear?
Look,
I mean, it's
looked like they went and then they slowed again a little bit. For sure, Team Luik had a lot of advantage, but let's see.
okay.
As far as the accidents and the cars in turn 2 and that area, I think that's all been cleared.
Kozira is at the back. Melissa Kozira is right at the back. So what on earth happened to her? I didn't even see.
Me neither, because she was
Did
all
she
right
stop?
after the start. I followed her at the start, and she was in the right place, more or less, around P4, P5. She was there, but now she's in the at the back of the grid.
I did see there was a blue car at the back of the grid in the rear shot that we just saw. Flory's back out, so that's Flory, bottom of your picture. But I don't know or understand how Melissa is back there. But the trouble is, so much was going on, we didn't see. So we maybe take a look again at the start and see if she was out of place. She should have been on the second row
P3
with Jamie Garrett. Yeah, no, Garrett was P3 and she was P4.
P4.
So she should have been with Garrett on the second row, unless she just had to physically stop on track to avoid the cars in front of her. She doesn't.
But I'm pretty sure I had the image that coming out of turn 2, she was still
She was
there,
there.
more or less in the right place. In fact,
This is it. Or is this it? No. What's this?
now she's overtaking because.
Okay, we're green. Yeah, we're green. Okay, right. Okay, race control. We didn't know about that. So Kozira goes up the inside, makes a pass. So we'll figure out how she's back there later. But the important thing is here, this is the championship leader, Melissa Kozira. She likes to race from the front. She's a good passer, but she's got a lot of cars to pass here. She's going to have to get a wiggle on.
Yeah, the overall leader, Menard, had another good start. Was able to pull away. Here we have the Copa Shell Am drivers, sorry.
So here is Dweet with Garrett behind and Spurman. Then it's Corley, Vartugian. Behind them, Roberts, Hummel and Chu. Kozira got that one pass done on Bifella right at the start. She kind of passed, well, she passed in the last corner, but right. Let's get to it. Melissa's got to start cracking on through the field here. There is quite a big time differential between the front and the back in terms of qualifying times. So the back of the grid was a 1:29 and Melissa was doing 1:25s. So in theory, she's got 4 seconds a lap on some of these people, which should mean easy passing. But it's easy to say it, not so easy to do it. Michael Owen's up to P5 and he's on new boots. Charlie Menard leads from Blake Rosser, Whittle in behind, and then it's Joel Rose in the yellow coloured car. And the second of the yellow coloured cars is Borgio. Borgio up a few places as well, I think, after the carnage. Where was Borgio looking for it? He was in P10 and he's now up to P6. So Borgio up 4 places. Owens up 6 places. No, 7 places.
Yeah, really strong lap for Menard. I think he's 2 seconds faster than anybody in the lead places of Copa Shell. So already 2.5 second gap.
Melissa Kozira has dispatched Kiel on that last lap as they've come over the start-finish line. Timing ladder on the left-hand side, you can see, so she's got Gomez and Czech to go after next. Then it's Nürnberg, but then Nürnberg, there's a pretty big gap between Nürnberg and Helen Chu. So the reason we're watching Melissa, as I say, she's the championship leader at the moment. When we came here, she had a lead of nearly 30 points, and she had another good run yesterday. I think it was 28 points or 27 points at the end of yesterday. Remember, it's 35 for a win, and then the points drop down the further down the order you are. Her main rival is Fabian Spurman, who's sitting in P3 in the Copper Shell AM standings. That's Jamie Garrett coming down through the corkscrew, with the rest of the field behind. Where is Melissa? She's through one more car, so she's Gomez, she's got past. That's Steve Czech who's in front of her, and in front of Czech is Nürnberg. So Kozira is doing well here, she's making hay. You think she was P15 and she's already up into P12. Not bad for a lap and a half. This could be she's not going to win this one, not without a miracle, but these are the races which make you a champion. It's not what you do on the good day, it's what you do on the bad day.
Yeah, she still needs a good solid result needs to be really decisive with the overtaking situations. And here we have Blake Rosser. He's under pressure now from Whittle.
Joel Rose behind.
Yeah, and the leader Menard is gone. He's gone, but the other group is forming quite nicely. Michael Owens tries to join the party as well.
Don't forget, we reckon about half race distance, which is coming up now. It'll be slightly later than that because we had a couple of laps of full course yellow. That the tyres start to become slightly harder work, and then the last 2 laps really hard work. You gotta hang on to it. You gotta be super smooth as the traction disappears. But as Tony said earlier, some of the drivers have made adjustments for that from yesterday.
Yeah, we saw a lot of I saw a lot of happy faces. Drivers were happy about the racing yesterday. They said they had fun. Here's Melissa trying to overtake
Steve Jack
into turn 6, was not able to do it. Yeah, a lot of drivers saying it was fun to race here yesterday, and they were looking forward to today's race. And at the same time, they were working still on their driving and setup of the car. And like I said, many drivers happier today with their performance after qualifying.
Over the start-finish line then, Bernard has already gone through. The gap's gone up to 4.7. It's only 6/10 back to Whittle. It's another 4/10 back to Rhodes as they come over the start-finish line. It's Owens, Borgio, Dayton. And then, up the inside, Kozira, was there contact or not? Very late to it, not sure the mirrors are still there, so I suspect not. That's our giveaway, isn't it, normally? Are the mirrors still there?
Yeah, that's a good overtaking corner. So the last corner, one of the slowest on track. So the risk for DNF or risk for high-speed contact is very low. And as far as what we saw, it was a good, solid overtaking, no drama. And now the next driver is Jeff Nunberg ahead of Melissa.
Let's take a look at the move that Melissa made, Tony.
Yeah, there's a little bit of gap, but there's a place.
That's really good.
Yeah, there's no contact.
No,
yeah.
Steve saw her late, I think. She came from a long way back. I'm impressed by that.
Yeah,
Got to
good
do
job.
the same on Nunberg. What's the gap in front of Nunberg is 3.8. Yeah, so look at the empty track in front. So Melissa needs to get past and then get chasing the cars down in front. She's got 15 minutes left to... it's like a supermarket suite. You've got to get as many as you can in the time limit. So yeah, Kozira fighting her way back. Menard, meanwhile, 4.7 was the gap. Rosser with pressure from Whittle. It's difficult then to focus on your own lines.
Yeah, Menard has very impressive pace. Last lap 1 second faster than the other group. Again, the same thing.
Was that fastest lap as well? 1:26.2. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly 1 second.
Yeah, and that's on lap number 8. And Kozira passes Nunberg in the same place, so she's getting a car a lap here on that same corner. Nunberg now under pressure from Czech behind. So Steve Czech and Nunberg might have a little scrap here, and that'll give Melissa a bit of free air. Okay, let's see what her gap is now as she crosses over the line. She's 4.3 off Helen Chu. See how quickly she can make that time up. 4.3 was the gap to the next car in front, and then Chu is 3.1 off Henry Hummel. So this is the point where it's all about lap time now, and she's got to pass Helen quickly and see if she can get after Henry Hummel. Yeah, she can salvage, I don't know, 6th or 7th. It would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Where is she now? 1, 2. I've lost the ladder. We'll have a look in a minute. Charlie Menard still leading. The gap's 5.7, as you said, Tony's gone up by another lap. Menard, go on.
Yeah, I think Melissa is 9th.
Ninth, thank you, mate. Tony's been adding up down the board.
Yeah, it wasn't that smart at school, but
no.
I tried to count. I think she's around P9 right now.
Sperman's passed Garrett. Look, that's just at the corkscrew, and has also done the fastest lap in the race in the AM category. And yeah, Tony is right, Kozira showing in P9. There is that fastest lap. 127.6. So just 1.4 off the fastest lap of Menard in the Copper Shell category. Fabian Sperman, one of the drivers I would expect to maybe move up next year from AM to Copper Shell. The rate we're going, there's actually a list of people that could go up. I think, you know, you could be looking at Jamie Garrett, you could be looking at Melissa Kozira. It's good to see. I like to see the progression. So we're 9 laps in. Tim Dweet leads Fabian Sperman by 3. It's a further second back to Jamie Garrett, then 2.5 to Corley. Vartugin shown as a lap down. That's only because he hasn't crossed the start-finish line yet, so that gap will appear in a minute.
Very interesting in the lead of Copper Shell, and suddenly the other drivers sort of matching the leader's pace, but it took a few laps, and Menard was able to pull almost a 6-second lead, but now they're lapping the same.
Unless Menard has really cooked his tyres by going absolutely flat out at the start. But all the same, he's got 5.3 seconds. It was 5.7. So we'll watch that gap and see if he starts to come back down. Might end up with Rosser quite close to him in the final corner, Tony. I don't think he'll do what happened yesterday, but we'll see. Pressure here going up the hill. Exit the corkscrew, everything remains the same. It's Corley in the blue, the 176 behind Roberts and Hummel. And Melissa Kozira has cut the gap to Helen Chu, but only to 2.4. So we're looking to see, there she is. So this is Kozira. Is she going to go for the classic move in 11 again? She is, just straight up the inside. Another one bites the dust. So Kozira using that corner massively to her advantage. She knows she's got pace on the other drivers, but now the gaps are a little bit bigger, Tony. She's got to chase them down as well as make the passes.
Yeah, but good job so far.
Yeah.
2-3 great overtaking moves at the same place. And
she was at the back, wasn't she? She
Yeah.
was in 15th. She's now in 8th, so she's got halfway through the field, and she has 10 minutes remaining. Who is next on the list? Will be Henry Hummel and then Roberts. Yeah, this gaggle of cars in front. So actually, this would be a good group to catch, because if you could get 3 places here and get yourself into 5th, I think you'd say happy days.
yeah, Michael Owens is closing.
So how much difference will Owen's tyres make? The others have got 10 laps on. We know that from quali this morning. He's got stickers on, which means he had to start at the back of the pack.
Yeah,
but
2 things. The stickers in the early parts of the race, they grip a little bit better. Then the pressures needs to be right spot on, because you don't have a heat cycle on the tires. So if they overshot the pressures, then it will be a huge thing. But looking right now that Michael has good pace, and he's closing on the driver in front of him.
So having a heat cycle on the tyres, what makes the tyre a little bit more consistent with
Consistent
the
and
pressure?
a bit stiffer, I would
Okay.
say. So it has a little bit more durability. So sometimes with the sticker set, you just need to be careful with the pressure that it's not too high.
Got you. I'm actually surprised we don't see cars come in during qualifying for a pressure check sometimes. You get it up to temperature to go in, but I suppose the trouble is you lose 2 laps, don't you? You lose
Yeah,
an in lap and an
normally-
out lap, and it's only 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think the drivers and teams, they try different variations, but normally the information and the experience, personally, what I have with Pirelli tires is better to stay on track and use the peak of the tire straight away.
Yeah, sure.
Again, the same stuff, normal summer conditions, don't go too high with the pressure, then the pressure is right there on the 5th lap or 4th lap, and it needs to be a combination of temperature and tire pressure.
Kozira.
Closing off
is-
fast.
Yeah, up behind Hummel already. So Hummel and Roberts are close together. If she can catch them napping, she'll get the 1 definitely. I reckon you got to go for 1 at the corkscrew and 1 at 11, but the corkscrew's a bit of a brave place, and she may have a championship head-on. We know she had championship head-on yesterday. Gonna wait.
Yes, she's been strong down the hill from corkscrew.
And yesterday was as well, if you remember. Dweet was quick up the hill and Kozira was quick down it.
Yeah, and here turn 9, and then that's the momentum she has from 9 to 10, and that's the key to be able to overtake then here.
Here it is. This is the place with her favourite move, but
That was a
it's
bit
little
later.
bit far back. She just avoids contact.
Yeah.
She's almost alongside. Kozira might have made this work. Wasn't the way she wanted to do it. She wanted to get him on the way in, but she's still side by side with him, forces him wide. That's a really good aggressive pass. He went late on the brakes and gets through.
And a little bit of cooperation from both drivers.
Yeah, respect.
Because, yeah, respect. Again, there was no contact, and a good battle that went all the way into turn 2.
So Kozira gets another one. Definitely 1 more on the cards. In terms of distance to the cars in front, there was a little bit more of a gap in front of Hummel. These are your front runners. Menard, the gap is, oh wow, the gap's gone up massively. Menard's just done his fastest lap. 1:25.374 on his last lap. So he's just done the fastest lap on lap 12. 22 minutes into this race, and Menard is still getting good lap time out of his Pirellis. That's impressive. There's 5 or 6 other drivers doing their personal best. But that's very good indeed. And to be fair, Blake Rosser is within a tenth of that fastest lap as well. But the gap is 7.6 out front and growing. So, yeah, Menard is checked out on the front this time. Doesn't want anybody having a crack at him in turn 11 this time round, does he? We're on board now. Ryan Dayton. Melissa has gone up the inside. We're hearing of Hummel in turn 11. We'll have a look at in a minute on the replay.
It's nice to hear the turbos when you release the throttle.
Yeah, the wastegate noise.
Yeah. Yeah, overall the grip level on track. Even we heard yesterday, the other days, that the grip was not there, but at least with the laps that I did, I found the track in really good condition.
Yeah. This is Melissa passing Henry Hummel.
Same place.
Yeah, lovely. Turn 11 is her favourite, absolutely.
And also very good that she dives very deep into the last turn, but she's able to come out of the corner as well, not losing the place back.
And not losing too much speed, which is important then on closing the gap down to the next car, which she's done again. She's going to get...
Yeah, they made a mistake. The car in front of them made a mistake in turn 6, and let's see.
Yeah, I think it's Vartugien, but does he know that she's there? I'm not sure he does. He'll know when we get to turn 11. So it's Vartugien in front of Kozira here. Vartugien may be watching the mirrors and thinking...
Melissa opens the line a bit more in the entry to 9 and then goes lower, tighter in the mid-corner, and she has a very good run. Let's see.
This has got to be the place. She's going to do it again, and she comes in late and hasn't been seen.
Oh!
Yeah, that wasn't good awareness, I'm afraid, from Vartugien. She was a long way up the inside. That's a real shame.
Yeah, I think the space was there initially, and then I would
door
say
got closed.
Yeah, he turned on her. And
it's difficult. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, he's under attack. He's had a mistake.
But this is the difference when there is no cooperation anymore. When initially there was the space, and spinning behind Michael Owens.
Borgio span yesterday as well. ABS in reverse there. Going backwards into the gravel trap. Right, Kozira's right behind these cars that she's passed. But she may have to have another go at it now. You're looking at Owens, who is still sitting in P5. Okay, Tim Tweet.
Yeah, Michael has good speed. It's just difficult to overtake. He had the penalty yesterday with the contact with Whittle. He went to apologize. Turn 9, difficult place to overtake. Oh, contact, more contacts.
Again?
Turn 6.
So
Figure Melissa. Is it Melissa involved?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Melissa's at the front of those two cars.
Yeah. Yeah, the first 4 or 5 overtakings went well, and now a little bit more action.
Yeah. But maybe she may be carrying... Yeah, she's been passed, or nearly passed again. I wonder if Melissa's carrying damage from that contact in turn 11. It's a shame, because it was great work up until then. But if there's something wrong with the car and she's having to hold on to it now, this is now a case of hold on to as many of the positions as you can. And now a pass up the inside on her, but she has good awareness and sees it on the inside line.
Yeah, I think something happened with the toe, front or the rear toe, or the front suspension, the contact. She had to avoid the contact. This is one of the car is moving a bit too much in the corner, side by side into 6. Whoa, that was close.
Little touch. I think it was a little touch, wasn't it, in that rear
Yeah, but
course,
I think Melissa is out of her normal lap time. She
Yeah.
can't perform the normal level now. And
No.
that's creating a bit of an issue.
It was the contact, wasn't it, with Vartugien earlier on, maybe. There was in turn 11 here. Okay, well, Menard leads from Rosser. The gap is 8.7, so Menard has thrown down big time here. Fantastic performance over the last few races. If I remember correctly, joined us in, he joined us in Sebring, where he got 2 P3s, double win in Kota, double win in Laguna Seca. I think Charlie Menard is going to wish he'd come to Thermal earlier on in the year, because, yeah, this is going to be moving up the championship order, surely.
Yeah, and I think Menard is knocking on the doors of Pirelli AM as well.
Yeah, very
think,
much.
Because with this performance, 10 seconds in let's say how much we had racing, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So far, maybe we were we had a little bit of safety car.
10 minutes. I'd say the safety car was 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It felt like 3 or 4 laps. Garrett here with a bit of pressure from Sperman. This is for P2. I think Sperman had passed her earlier in the race, so Garrett's got back past somewhere.
Yeah, at least Fabian didn't see the full course yellow, so he overtook some drivers and then he left them back.
Yes.
He realized that there was full course yellow.
Yeah, he did. That was behind the safety car. So we have 2 minutes, well, just about 3 minutes remaining. Vartugin and Roberts doing their fastest laps. Kozira has unfortunately dropped down a few places. As you can see, she's down to P10 and she was up to P6 at one point. So all that hard work has, gone away slightly. But so for the championship lead will be a lot closer if it doesn't change here. And this is for second place, as we say, out front here. Tim Dweet leads by a decent margin. And Garrett and Sperman behind. What is his gap? Wow, he's miles in front. 7.7 up the road, 8.4. I think he's about 13 seconds up the road. 13, yeah, he's nearly 14 seconds up the road is Tim Dweet. So Garrett just gapping Sperman a little bit in that right-hander. That's coming down the hill again.
Yeah, if you have that chance, it's better to pull a good gap in case you have something post-race, penalties or something coming at your way. When you have a chance, win with a big margin.
Yeah. Well, both categories are looking at doing that now. Menard's 10 seconds up the road. Sperman just runs the car a bit deep. Maybe on purpose if he thought he was going to collect Garrett. He gets a good exit. I wonder if he's got better traction on the exits here at this point in the race. This is Steve Czech in a race with, I think it's Roberts he's in with a race with, yeah. Daniel Roberts it is. In the 144, another new name I think for Ferrari Challenge, or certainly this season. So Steve Czech just lost P7 to Roberts. It was in P8. Minute remaining. White flag, last lap for Menard. Well, it's just been a demonstration run, hasn't it? After a bit of carnage in turn 1.
Yeah, but very dominant performance from Menard. Yeah, even if you check the fastest lap times, he's cleared by 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, 25.3 compared to 26.3. It's literally, it's like, I don't know. Oh, inside. Fabian Sperman goes a little bit deep. Oh, and sideways then for Jamie Garrett as she tries to come back at him. She's on the dirty side of the track now, but actually I think she might be almost alongside, not quite. She's got on the throttle just a little bit too early with Sperman run deep because she went sideways and you lose that bit of momentum.
Might be important move for the championship.
Yes, true. Yeah, in terms of points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sperman now into P2, and that's going to be a big haul of points, and his rival, say Melissa Kozira, is just a little way further back. Menard coming up on lapped traffic now. This is where you have to be really careful. There's not a lot of point in passing here. I think just sit tight. So with the yellow mirrors, the car in front being lapped, this is an absolutely brilliant performance by Charlie Menard. Started the season with those 2 P3s and since then has been on the top step of the podium at every round. Double win in Kota, double win here at Laguna Seca. Brilliant drive by Charlie Menard. 10 seconds up the road from P2. P2 is going to be Blake Rosser, we think, as it is. He crosses the line with Chuck Whittle behind, Rose and Owens. And Tim Dweet is in a completely different race from his competitors. He's 15 seconds on up the road from P2. He crosses the line to take the win in Copper Shell Am. A round of applause from the team. And they're waiting on Fabian Sperman and Jamie Garrett for P2 and P3. There they are. Garrett has a little look in the final corner. She won't be close enough this time round. Great racing from her to be P3. And Fabian Sperman, is this a vital moment in his championship hunt as he crosses the line for P2 in Copper Shell Am and takes the fastest lap as well. So an extra point for that for Sperman. He had the pole, don't forget, earlier on as well. So it's very nearly maximum points. Just the win to Tim Dweet giving a couple away. Kozira hasn't come round yet and has dropped down the order. She was P19 on the previous lap in overall. She's down to P21. I do feel for her. Lap times are down at 140, so Kozira are carrying a problem. After some great attacking driving, trying to get up through the field, it just came undone on one of those passes in turn 11. It was her favourite corner until then. There we are, Copper Shell done. 2 dominant race wins. Charlie Menard, no last corner dives this time round. And Tim Dweet in Copper Shell Am.
Yeah, so we had double winners for the weekend.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
Tim
good
and
shout.
Charlie both winning yesterday and today as well.
Yeah, good shout, Tim Dweet. I missed. Thank you very much, mate. That's why one of us has to be paying attention.
It's been your birthday weekend. So when a mate needs support, I'm
Yeah,
here to
you're
give it
here.
to
You're here. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thank you.
Let's go through the difficult times together.
Yeah. No difficult times for them. It's fantastic. It's the difference, isn't it, that a day makes. Both wins were so much more dominant today.
Yeah, I think the winning car, Charlie Menard, he had the pure pace. I think Tim he had a very good moments in the race where others were fighting and he was just posting the solid
Banging
lap
in the
times.
solid laps.
Yeah, Menard has a very strong performance. Tim is matching the lap times with the other drivers behind, but he was just he had a very good moments in the race where he had clear track. Good performance though.
Charlie Menard comes back past the Ferrari Corral and heads into Parc Ferme, which is just down behind the podium outside Casa Ferrari. Good job. Double win, 4 in a row. Very impressive indeed. Blake Rosser comes alongside for P2. And on the outside, Chuck Whittle. How happy is he, I wonder? Yeah, pretty chill. Fabian Sperman slots in for the collection in the background, and then on the inside there, Jamie Garrett. Garrett's really coming into her own. I think that the confidence that she's found with the 1-2 with Kozira back in Sebring, just, you know, you get that monkey off your back and you go, oh, I can do this. I'm actually got the pace. And then when you start believing in it, as we discussed earlier, so much is in your head.
Yeah, and also, good results. Then you just click on the mental side. You start believing more, like you mentioned, and then good qualifying after in challenge provides a good result after the race as well. So you need to have the performance in qualifying and then work from there.
Job done on both those fronts for the winner overall, and that is Charlie Menard with Nina J. Paul.
A masterclass performance from Charlie. Textbook win, absolutely dominant. Talk us through that race.
Yeah, you know, the start went okay. I knew that Blake was going to run me hard and really clean though. And I didn't, I think we needed that restart right away, you know, just for our pace. And then, boy, we had a really great car, you know, and it really allowed us to kind of check out. And I feel good. It was a little bit of vacation for yesterday. That was a tough night last night, and we got through it. But boy, I'm happy racing Ferraris, and good clean race for us. And I can't wait to go to Sonoma.
Another double win, Charlie. I mean, I know you weren't in thermal, but this is amazing. What does this do for your championship?
Yeah, you know, getting just us closer. You know, missing 2 races in thermal was tough, but you know, we're just trying to take race by race. We're having so much fun racing Ferraris. I can't thank everybody enough for providing this opportunity.
Congratulations, enjoy this one.
Thank you.
How lovely that he's enjoying it so much and the atmosphere of being in with the Ferrari family. Congratulations, Charlie. That is a brilliant, brilliant result. And I wonder actually if missing the first 2's taken some of the pressure off, because you're just coming here and going, I'm going to do it race by race, weekend by weekend, and I'm just going to crack on. So Charlie Menard takes his 4th win in a row in Copper Shell. Blake Rosser, P2, and that will stand today. There was the penalty yesterday when he made that pass in the last corner and he dropped to P8. So it's a podium for Rosser, and he was up there in the standings too. Chuck Whittle with a great 3rd place. Joel Rose, actually, P4 is good as well. Michael Owens up in P5. Tim Dweet, that's a fantastic performance. The winner of Copper Shell Am, who I'm sure we'll speak to in a moment, up in 6th place overall, ahead of Dayton and Borgio from Copper Shell. Fabian Sperman and Jamie Garrett are the other podium finishers in Copper Shell Am. Then Corley, Vartugin, Hummel, Roberts, Czech, Chun, Nürnberg, Patel, Gomez. And unfortunately, this is going to be the story on the last page here. will be Melissa Kozira. So Kozira missing out on a top result. There she is behind Keel and Befella as well. She's the last of the finishers. Everybody else, Flory, Luli, Carol, Orsini, Parker, all of that, most of that happened, well, yeah, all of it happened in turn one, and Flory, of course, made it a little way further through the race. Tim Dwight, after a brilliant performance and a double win this weekend, as Tony Vlander pointed out, is with Nina Jade Paul.
Well, for someone who's in their first season of Ferrari Challenge North America, a double win is no easy feat, Tim. You made it look easy out there.
Oh, it was great. We had a wonderful time. It was just a lot of fun. Thankfully, I was able to pull away a little bit, and then it was uneventful, and that I had a good time by myself there for a while, so it was a lot of fun. I want to wish Happy Father's Day to my dad at home. I love you. Thank you for everything.
Sometimes an uneventful race is exactly what you want, especially because you've been unfortunate in the previous rounds. But now this double win, what does this do for your momentum ahead of Sonoma? How are you feeling about that?
I feel really good. We've had a tough season here, a couple of races, self-inflicted mistakes that I've made. So it's really happy to get the monkey off our back and get a couple of wins. So now we've got some momentum going in, and hopefully we can continue this. Team's done an awesome job, so we're really excited, and I think we're heading the right direction.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you so much.
Nice to hear Tim saying Happy Father's Day to his dad. Same to mine. Legendary guys that they are. Also nice to see that he only had a couple of podiums early in the year. He said he's had a rough couple of races. Looking at his previous races, Kota wasn't particularly kind to him, but a couple of podiums earlier on in the year. But this is how the championship stands after the racing here. Blake Rosser still with a 51-point gap. That was after the penalty was applied yesterday. Chuck Whittle moves up 3 places into P2. And then Andrew Parker at 1 place. Even with the retirement today, he's still in 3rd place. Charlie Menard drops down a place, which is interesting when he's taken the win. And then Kevin Orsini, Michael Owens, Lewis Flory, and Ryan Dayton, the top 8. Rose, Borgio, Carol, Ott, Evans, Moss, and Luli. More of your point scorers in Copper Shell. Let's take a look at the Shell Am Championship standings in just a moment. Melissa Kozira still leads, but the gap is down. It was 27 yesterday, and it's 10 now. So Sperman has managed to get away from Tweet. Tweet, with the double win, has moved up into P3. And looking at the standings before he came, he was in 5th prior to this weekend. So great job by him. Steve Check, Jamie Garrett goes up. Jeff Nunberg goes down. Lance Cooley, Henry Hummel. So Kozira still in the lead, but not in the driving seat that she was, so she now can't afford to have any relaxing races. She's going to have to get stuck in. She's getting stuck in today. I do feel for her. I think she was a bit unlucky having carved her way through the field. Rest of your point scorers here for Copper Shell Am. Hugely well-supported category this year. Stick around with us. We are going to go racing with Pirelli very shortly indeed. The drivers are having a little drink and getting themselves ready to go racing. It's a fantastic afternoon. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back to Laguna Seca. Ferrari Challenge North America continues with our final race of this double-header weekend from what's arguably the most famous racetrack in the US of A. I mean, there's Daytona, there's Indianapolis, but we're at Laguna Seca this weekend, so that's what we're saying. It's a brilliant track. It's a proper roller coaster. We've had some great racing, and we're looking forward to setting Trofeo Pirelli off any minute now. We started the season here in California Thermal Raceway, the private exclusive racetrack. And then on to Sebring in Florida, COTA, the Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas. Then at Laguna Seca back in California. We go 3 hours up the road over the Golden Gate Bridge to Sonoma in 4 weeks' time. Then it's Road America for round 6 before those competitors who are up for the big prize head across to the Finale Mondiale at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain in November. Laguna Seca, this is the track outline. Tony Villander alongside me, Andrew Coley. Tony, we've seen the track map a few times this weekend, but the track gets no more uninteresting as the weekend goes on. It's a proper challenge.
Yeah, this is a very beautiful track. Nice for the drivers, not so nice for the engineers. You need to really find an optimum setup based on your experience, but also on drivers' liking. Interesting to follow Roberto Perina, starting P2, lost the pole with few hundredths of a second, improved his quali lap time by 3/10 from yesterday. So he's one very happy driver going to today's race.
Yeah, he seems to have found something in the car. We know Kaminsky has made a change as well because he wasn't happy with the amount of traction that they had both at the end of their simulation run during the practice sessions earlier this week and then again at the end of yesterday's race.
And just to add a little bit of drama, Johnny and Roberto got together at Sebring. Boom,
yes,
boom.
oh yes,
there
they
was
did.
action, turn 3.
Yes, they did. Good memory, nicely done. So a little look in through the front windshield there of Johnny Kaminsky, heading back to George Grinzovich. George yesterday was P2 on the grid and P2 in the race. Great performance by him. I'm a big fan of those wheels too. The gunmetal colour is another favourite. I mean, I do talk about wheel colours a lot, but we say we've got some great liveries, and you got to admire the wheels when they're good. But Grinzovich's performance yesterday was definitely a different George Grinzovich than we've seen the rest of the season.
He was really consistent, and we were predicting that Johnny Kaminsky has more in the race, but it was actually Grinzovich who closed the gap. And then in Pirelli, I'm very close qualifying, where the championship leaders are further down. So it will be an interesting race also in Pirelli AM class.
It will indeed. This is Brad Falvera in the 66. He's in his T car, as you can see from the plate on the side. Quick look into Brad's car. You see the rear view camera and the dash all lit up, ready to go. Thumbs up. And well, I think we're good to go. Let's get down to Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, I am standing in between our top 2 starters. Johnny Kaminsky on my left, Roberto Perina on my right. There was only half a tenth between these two in qualifying. So let's get this race going. Without further ado, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Indeed. Let's go. Final dance for this weekend.
I like the flow we are having today. Race after race. Let's go.
You're into it. Tony's all fired up. He's been out in his old GT3 car earlier on today, and now he's just full of adrenaline. Later on, he's going to go to the airport and fly all the way around the world for the work with the FIA. He's the head of the Finnish Motorsport Association, as well as a Ferrari ambassador and GT racing legend. You're a man of many talents.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. Thanks for reminding about the 15-hour flight. Really appreciate that.
Did you say you're losing a whole day going that way?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you think he's crossing the date line, we think, going the other way. So, yeah, Tony Villander will mysteriously disappear from the world for 24 hours and reappear on Tuesday. So there we go. That is the way it goes when you're an international man of mystery and motorsport. There's Matt DL. There is out the front row, Johnny Kaminsky and Roberto Perina. And here is our marshal at the front, about to set the drivers off. And away we go. Roll out time. Grinzovich with the hazard lights on. Let everybody with the hazard lights on down the grid. We get the Pirelli cars away first. And then holding on, ready for Pirelli AM. Let's get this show on the road. Cars rolling down towards turn 2. Turn 1 is the crest that's just behind them. Very quick corner that they will attack in a moment to see if they can get the whole shot, get the all-important lead. Should be a tight race in both categories here. It certainly was yesterday. Decent field. Not the same numbers as Copper Shell, but the gaps between these cars this morning in qualifying were unbelievable. Here's your grid. At the front for Trofeo Pirelli, Johnny Kaminsky on the pole with Roberto Perina alongside. Row number 2, George Grinzovich III and Tony Davis. Row number 3 is Brad Favre and David Beaton. And then you've got the back of the Trofeo Pirelli, Brian Cook, and then your pole sitter, Kevin Gutierrez for Trofeo Pirelli and Joe Rubbo, Michael Porter. Then on to Hopkins and Bernier. Mathes and Mitchell Green. Mitchell Green with a bit of work to do here to get up where he needs to be for his championship aspirations. Martin Burrows, Hayden Gibson. And finally, Matthew Diel. Right, all to play for, Tony. There's Mitchell Green with the Italian stripe up the centre of the car. Matt Diel at the back of the pack as well here. Everybody getting everything warmed up. Should be a decent scrap this. We were talking tenths, weren't we? It was, what, 8 tenths, I think it was, across the whole of the Pirelli Anfield. It was nothing.
Yeah, it's been super close this weekend, and the drivers do know that going into the race, that the opening lap gives you opportunities to improve your starting grid position, and then when we go to a normal solid rhythm in the race, it's very difficult to overtake. Copachel showed us a very good start, very good main straight, but then all the things happen at turn 2. So, interesting start ahead of us.
There is indeed. This is Trofeo Pirelli, and you see Beaton is looking very racy on the outside of row number 3, up super tight. But it's all about these front 2, or certainly they're the ones that we're most interested in from a championship point of view, with Grinzovich as well behind. They are all regulars, but Kaminsky is the one with the most to lose here. He'll want to stay out of trouble, but he will also want to continue to take those wins. Beaton not in the row. Should he be fully in behind there? We'll have to see. And now he drops in, and the green flag comes out. We're away. Good start by Perina. Better than Kaminsky. Kaminsky maybe swallowed up here in the run to turn 1. Grinzovich pushing Tony Davis a little bit wide. And it is indeed Perina that gets the whole shot. Grinzovich, Davis trying to go around the outside. Beaton stuck on the outside of Favre. Favre now Beaton slots in behind. And that at least covers off the drive behind him, which I think was Cook. And they come by, so you can actually hear the cheering from Casa Ferrari. Gutierrez down in turn 1, the inside. Jan Bernier getting through cleanly. Mitchell Green in behind him as well. So, okay, cleaner start than we saw last time round. Michael Mathes looks to the inside line. Can't find a way through just there. It was Gregory Hopkins he was trying to pass. Wheels on the dirt in the background. Jan Bernier is in behind.
Yeah, very brave move from Jan into turn 3. He went from outside.
Oh, it's Beaton. Beaton with a bit of off-road. He's damaged the rear splitter as well on the car as he goes through the gravel on the outside. You might be able to see that on the rear shot. There it is.
Maybe a contact.
Could be. Let's have a look. No, he's on his own, isn't he?
I think he's on his own. Yeah.
Too much speed in and runs the car out wide on the dirt. That's a shame. So now David's got a bit of work to do. I did say to Miller, I said, just get out there and enjoy it. Like, it's really easy to get too frustrated. Look at this Perina. Car looks good, but is he not managing his tyres? Kaminsky, yes, they managed his tyres, and by the end of the race, it was tricky. But you said Perina's really happy with the settings.
Yeah, but the story of the weekend has been that Johnny, with his current momentum, he's been leading the field in qualifying in the race, but the setup, the handling of the car has not been the best. And also the fact that Grinzovich was able to close the gap in race 1 yesterday, it might give opportunities to Perina. The setup looks way better today, and he's pulling away right now.
If Kaminsky needs to manage his tyres, let's say, for argument, oh, and in the inside, that's Bernier again. Hopkins alongside. Bernier was behind him. Hopkins still holds on as they come up to Casa Ferrari. Hopkins on the inside line. Behind them, Michael Mathes. Bernier almost into the rear as they exit. Bernier looking for a way through here desperately. Through the right-hander at 3 and 4, and now he's heading up towards 5. This is the left-hander with a bit of a kink, and the camber on the inside. Bernier goes late on the brakes. You see the nose of the car dive down, and he closes up again, but he isn't close enough. The next opportunity really is after the kink, 7, 8, 9. This is at the top of the hill. You can do a brave one when you get around these two corners here to the top. Will you have a look as they go over the crest and in? Look in the background here to see if Bernier has a crack at it or not. He does not. Bernier thinks better of it. The Parker move, which we've named it from yesterday. Maybe then down in turn 11 where Melissa Kozira was making so much headway, but it's not easy when the cars are very closely matched, and we know these guys are insanely closely matched. It was 0.8 over the whole grid.
Yeah, and on this track it's not so easy to follow very closely the other car. You don't see the apex of the corners, corkscrew, and the corners after that. They're difficult corners to be really close. Bernier is putting pressure, but he's showing again that it's very difficult to get by.
As a look to the inside here. He's got a bit more pace definitely on the brakes, hasn't he, it looks like. Maybe a little bit more confidence in his car on the brakes, or maybe just the settings in his car favour the entry rather than the exit. Fastest lap to Roberto Perina at the minute with a 1:24.5. 1:24.8 for Kaminski, 25.5 for Grinzovic. But we're watching the battle here for Trofeo Pirelli Am. The gap out front is 1.9 in Pirelli. In Pirelli Am, the gap for Gutierrez to Rubo is 1.0. You can see those three cars in front. Porter is the white car with the green stripe over the top. Hopkins the purple and yellow. Bernier the burnt orange and blue colour. Mitchell Green not managing to make too much headway since the start, but as we said, I mean, I think this could well come down to who manages when the tyres go off. You know, so give it another few laps. Who else is on stickers as well? Was there somebody in this one on stickers, or no? That was yesterday.
Yesterday, Mitchell was actually.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he had to go to a T car, to another chassis, and he decided to start from the back with the new tires. And he had a good run yesterday, but now struggling a bit.
Yeah, he was 10th to P3 yesterday, and is that contact or not? He looks to the inside. He made a good pass there yesterday, but couldn't make it stick this time round. Looks like there wasn't contact. That is as close as you can get.
Yeah, I think Mitchell was there surprised a bit by Martin Burrows. I think Burrows had a little lock on the rear axle, and the car stepped out a little bit, so he had to slow down the speed, and I think Mitchell was carrying a bit too much speed, and if there was a little love tap, I don't know, but yeah, it was very close.
Just a nudge. He will know he's there, put it that way. If he didn't see him in the camera, he will have taken up the entire of that little screen inside the 296 Challenge car. Perina has the fastest lap, and he's still leading by 2.5 now. This is the battle between Tony Davis and Brian Cook. They are sitting in P4 and P5 in Pirelli. There's Grinzovic behind, so Grinzovic and Kaminski with a little gap each. David Beaton is on the back of Brad Favre.
Yeah, Perina is pulling away.
Yeah. 2.6. So what did it go up by? It went up by another, yeah, 1?
1/10.
1/10, yeah, sorry, the purple, yeah, there is the fastest lap on the last lap, 1:23.3 compared to a 24.3 compared to a 24.4 for Kaminski. What I was going to ask is, if Kaminski is needing to manage tyres here, how do you stay calm if you know that your strategy will come to you later, but you have to watch the car in front drive away? And we're not saying that's what's going to happen, but I know you will have been in that situation before.
Yeah, Mitchell Green able to overtake Barros.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the tire saving is a thing. Do you have a balance issue since the start of the race? So is there something to save, or you going for it? Yesterday we were talking about Johnny saving tires, but then he didn't have that much performance in the end of the race. So Burrows another issue into turn 1, so he overshot the corner a little bit, and Mitchell was ready, and yeah, good overtaking turn 2.
He did that yesterday, didn't he, to somebody? Just a little squirt on the throttle between the two apexes probably compromises your exit slightly, but if you get the pass done, it doesn't matter. You know, you got to get past. It's all about those points. Big cut over the curb on the right-hand side in the run into the corkscrew. Gutierrez with the fastest lap, 1:25.337. Was that his last lap? Yes, it looks like it was. Yes, there we are. So both our leaders hold the fastest laps as well. Rubbo, Porter, Hopkins, Bernier. Look, there's a big gaggle of cars there, isn't there, from P2 back, waiting for if something happens to Gutierrez. Having said that, in the Copper Shell race, we just saw both race category leaders disappeared into the distance, and nobody could do anything about it come the end of the race.
Yeah, if you have clean air, you have the clear track in front of you, you can just keep posting those lap times, be consistent. Maybe not the fastest every lap, but the consistency is a key here. One small mistake and it's really difficult to come back. So you cannot go off the racing line or off the track. You cannot drop a wheel here. So you just need a very consistent pace. And if you get into a lead position, that's normally a very strong place here.
Michael Mathes with the blue and silver car. I'm trying to think where Mathes, you think it was pole yesterday. Where are yesterday's results, Andrew? Come on, there they are. Yeah, winner in the race, and I'm sure he was pole as well. I do still have my grids from yesterday. 4 down here. Be surprised how much paperwork you can generate in a commentary box over the course of a weekend. Yeah, he was pole and win yesterday. Did he get the full house? Was it fastest lap as well?
Yeah, this was the first lap that Johnny was faster than leading car, Roberto Perina, but just a half a tenth. And now on this lap,
Perina's
was
gone quicker again. Yeah, has done the fastest lap of the race again.
Yeah, a little difference today that the speed stays for a longer time. The tires are lasting better, and also the setup is clearly better on many cars. There was not only one lap. Yesterday was more the sequence of one fast lap and then continuously dropping. Today, even in qualifying, lap 10.
I was going to say quali was the big indicator, but I've kind of figured this morning quali was due to temperature. But it seems even when the temperature's high, we're still getting good pace. 6 laps in? We'll see. I say at the minute, about half the timing screen is lit up, isn't it, for us here in commentary, meaning that we can see half the drivers are still doing their best laps now. And we're about 10 minutes into this one, so 20 minutes still to go. There is a long way still to go in terms of race distance. It'll be hot in the cars. It's not as hot as we've seen at a number of these Ferrari races. It's been absolutely scorching, but it is warm enough. 0.6 of a second is the difference in lap times over the last lap between Mathes and Bernier. Looking at Jan Bernier now. Mitchell Green behind them as well. So is Green catching up to them? What was the gap on the last lap? It was 1.8 back to Green. Yeah, Green's catching these guys. So the gap was 1.8 on the previous lap, and over the line now, yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, Mitchell lost some time behind Martin Barros, and when he cleared Martin into turn 2, 1 or 2 laps ago, he's been able to put very good lap times.
Yes, there's only 3 drivers who went quick on that lap, their quickest on that lap. That was Hopkins, Green, and Gibson. Hayden Gibson at the back of the pack, one of our new drivers. So Mitchell Green is the man on the move, and he needs to be. Championship points-wise, it was Bernier and Green separated by 4 points on the way into this one. If I remember correctly, it went the other way yesterday, and Green was leading Bernier by 4 points come the end of the race meeting, or the end of the race day, sorry, but double header means there's more fortune to be had. The pole point went to Gutierrez, so neither of them nicking that, but they'll be looking for the fastest lap point, and then of course as many points as they can get from a race point of view. Where they are currently, Bernier in 5th would score 26 points, and Green in 7th would score 22. So they'd be equal on points unless one of them gets the fastest lap. That's my quick maths. I'm notorious for being bad at it. Me and Tony did not do well in maths at school, and that's fine. We like cars and motorsport. But at the inside, Cook, nicely done. Big late move. Everyone going mad as well at Casa Ferrari. You can hear them cheering for it in turn 3.
Yeah, a little touch though.
Yeah.
It was a little touch, turn 3.
Only tiny.
Yeah.
Rubbing's racing. That's what they say here. So yeah, Cook with a pass on Davis, and Fowler and Beaton in range now. You can see, can't you, where the curb actually drops off onto the apron there, that you'd lose a little bit of grip.
Yeah, you need to be careful there. It upsets the setup or the balance of the car a little bit, so you need to be a little respectful with that exit curb here in turn 5.
Use with caution, basically.
Yeah. consistency on Roberto Perina is quite impressive.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Only a tenth. That's 1/10 different on the last 2 laps.
And 4 tenths faster than Johnny last lap.
So Perina putting on a bit of a show out front. Mitchell Green now is applying enough pressure to Mathes in front that Mathes is just losing a little bit of ground on Bernier, and this is the way it goes when you start watching your mirrors and having to defend just that little bit more. You compromise your entry line, compromise your exit a bit, and the man behind or the woman behind chases you down.
Yeah, Mitchell Green starts to be on the mirrors.
He needs the pass, actually. If he gets the pass done, he'll hold on to the championship lead. If he doesn't, they could go into the final 2 American rounds over here at Sonoma and Road America, equal on points. And it's just brilliant. I love the fact these guys moved up from Copper Shell to Pirelli Am and have moved up to the front again. Yeah, just great progress from them. Green's good in this corner. We've seen passes from him in there. Mathes, yesterday's winner in front of him, will not give this place up easily. Look at that. Perina is almost out of distance from Kaminsky. Likewise, Kaminsky has gapped Grinzovic. And this was all done at the start. If you remember, Perina got a better start, went around the outside of Kaminsky into turn 1. Kaminsky doesn't have to beat him. There's 2:13 to 1:68 was the points coming here. So there's a big difference. He doesn't have to, but he would like to. And don't forget as well that only 2 drivers have won so far this season, Johnny Kaminsky and Manny Franco. So Kaminsky with 5 wins out of 7 up to now. 7 out of 8 pole positions. The only other man to have taken a pole, where is he? There he is, Jeremy Clark from Cota, last time out. 4 seconds the gap to Kaminsky, and then 4.4 back to Grinzovic, and then 4.6 back to Cook. So the top 3 in Pirelli are a little bit in no man's land at the minute. We'll keep an eye on those gaps and see if anybody starts to make any headway. Meanwhile, the battle here is nice and tight. Here they come. So that is... Where's Michael Portage with Joe Rubbo? Yeah, so I was looking at the battle in the background, which was Bernier and Co. So yeah, we got 2 3-car battles. 2 3-car battles going on with Rubbo, Porter and Hopkins. Behind them, Bernier, Mathes and Green. Mitchell Green now with the fastest lap point as well. So there's the first 3 and there's the second 3. Great stuff. The leaders might be checking out, but everybody behind is having a right old scrap. And this, don't forget, is for P2 and P3 on the podium. Good run by Hopkins. Hopkins was in the battle earlier, wasn't he, with Jan Bernier. Mitchell Green looks to the inside. Definitely got pace here, but needs to find a way through. Green now, right under the rear wing. This is the first time we've seen a genuine opportunity. Will he have a stab at it up at the corkscrew? He could from there. It'll be dangerous if he goes, but he is close enough. Stick it into that slipstream and look for the gap on the inside. And Green doesn't this time round. It's hard when they're so closely
Made a mistake
balanced.
from Mitchell.
Two sideways.
Yeah, he went a little bit sideways in the middle of the corkscrew. He was lucky. He did well to
hang on to it.
Yeah, hang on to it because the rear stepped out a little bit. Brian Cook, very good pace. Previous lap, he was the fastest car on track after he cleared Tony Davis. So he just posted his fastest lap time, which was 24.5. And good pace there.
A little bit more gap than between Bernier, Mathes and Green this time round. I say more of a gap, I mean it's nothing, it's tenths, but it's, yes, 0.7 and 0.7 I think. The gap side by side. Here's the battle that's in front of them, Rubbo, Porter and Hopkins. Still only just past the halfway distance. I think that, fatigue could come into this as well, with it being a hot day. And the fact, don't forget, a lot of these drivers have finished since Wednesday testing, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then, to the official practice sessions on Friday. Qualifying and racing all day yesterday. This is the point at which they need their most fitness is right at the end of the weekend.
And also the last 10 minutes, tire life-wise, will be difficult. So sometimes we see mistakes toward the end of the race just because drivers are trying a bit too much. Here we see the difficulty when you follow another car. You go up the hill, turn 6, difficult, the apex. Here we see Martin Barrows really using the track in the entry to the corkscrew. Here, downhill, you don't see where the inside curve is before the nose of the car drops down. Here is a waiting game, tight line. carry a lot of speed into 10. As soon as you feel a little bit of compression, back on throttle. And this is a good overtaking zone here, last turn.
DL's good on the brakes there, isn't he, to 11. I thought it might be the Concertina effect, but it's not. He looks inside again at Burrows in front of him. Got a good run on Burrows here. He's sitting on board as he sits in the slipstream, going to run out wide. Burrows goes defensive. That's Joe Rubbo, who's retiring from the racing. Looks like in the background the pass might be happening. Rubbo's gone. And
but there's contact.
yeah, contact. So was that somewhere with one of the other cars in turn one? He pulls off. Is it a puncture? Rear right, maybe. He's taking it off to a gap. Good lad. I have to say, great job by all our drivers this weekend in not causing full course yellows. But yeah, the two cars in front were in a 3 train, and we haven't seen if there's any damage or not.
Yeah, very interesting was on the onboard of DL following Burrows into turn 2.
I loved it.
Over the crest. You don't know where you're going exactly, and then when you're following another car, you lose a little bit of downforce on the front end of the car, and the control on the
Makes
front
it a bit
tires.
lazy.
Yeah, and he had to back off from the throttle just to keep the control of the front tires.
I also loved running on board with him over the corkscrew, because that's the first time we've done that, but it wasn't just the corkscrew, it was before the kink at turn 7. So you see it's blind over the kink, fully over the curbs, blind over the crest, fully over the curbs, then braking blind into the left and right. You can see why it's regarded by so many drivers worldwide as one of the top 10 corners in motorsport, anywhere in the world. Where are the others? 130R is one, isn't it, that's always on the list? Is that Suzuka?
Yeah, that's Suzuka.
Yeah.
Then obviously some corners at the Spa.
Yeah.
Spa.
Paddock Hill Bend at Brands Hatch is often very highly regarded because of the...
Maggots, Beckett, Silverstone.
Yes, the drop-off. A lot of it's elevation change, isn't it? Like Paddock Hill Bend, your stomach goes when you go through, like when you go over a humpback bridge. And anywhere that makes you do that, it just feels fantastic when you're in the car and on the limit. It makes it a 3-dimensional corner. I think that's why those are so... And then some are pure speed and bravery, like 130R is just a mad corner. Is it flat or not? You know, it depends what you're in. But the argument is to get flat. Like, did you really? Yeah. Spa's a cracking place as well. What a wonderful track. I must say, I've really enjoyed seeing the American racetracks over the last 2 seasons working with Ferrari here over in North America. I've been to a lot of racetracks in Europe, obviously living in the UK and working in motorsport for some 15 years. Many of them rallycross tracks, although some of those now are at bigger circuits like this. But, you know, I worked as an instructor for a few years, and I know you love it. And then you go to a new track, and you're like, I always feel like it's like a skateboarder feels when they go to a new skate park. You know, they see a bit of the skate park they want to do, and when I come to a track, I'm like, I want to do that. It's you never really lose interest, do you, in seeing a great piece of road on a great racetrack.
Yeah, I always loved racing here in North America, tracks with a lot of history, but also drivers' tracks where there is a little bit of fear factor, where there is a little bit of being on the edge, and as a driver a lot of corners where you can still make a lot of difference, and there are not a lot of runoff areas, tracks that maybe sometimes a little bit on the limit for FIA. Instead here in US we go racing. And I really always I enjoyed it a lot.
There's a lot of character in the circuits here. Like, I loved going to Sebring this year. Yeah, I know it's not the most modern facility compared to some of the
but
places
that's the story.
That's the point. Yeah, the bumps and the
if you
changes in
resurface
surface.
Sebring, I think it's
No,
gone.
it loses its charm. Or passing here. This is DL and Gibson. So Gibson's got past DL somewhere.
Yeah, we have these small groups around the track, and the racing keeps going. The fighting is there, but today a bit more difficult to overtake. Drivers know the places where to cover the line a bit, make it a little bit more difficult for the other driver trying to make the move. Gutierrez in Pirelli has done a very good job so far. He has a 5-second gap.
Yeah, and the gap at the front is pretty stable as well. In fact, so this is your leader, Roberto Perina. The gap was 4.0, it's now 4.3, as you can see on your screens. We have a bit more information in timing here, and that can tell us that the gap back to Grinzovic is actually, I thought it had come down, but it hasn't. It's gone up. It's 6.3. So Kaminsky has dropped Grinzovic a bit, but hasn't made headway into the lead. There is Grinzovic. Behind Grinzovic, in fact, Cook is gaining on Grinzovic. There's 1.8 between them. So Cook's checked out, having passed. He passed Tony Davis earlier, didn't he? And is now trying to close the gap down. So we might see a bit of a fight for P3 here in the closing stages. 7 minutes left, but remember the lap time at 1:25 means we're still looking at another 4 or 5 laps at least. Or Matthew DL. So look at that, it's Gibson has made another pass. Gibson's gone up another position on board with DL as he tries to get through here. That's into 6, is it?
Yeah, that's a very difficult place.
Yeah.
You cannot go side by side there. So DL has to back off, and Martin Burrows had the racing line.
Yeah, Gibson's making good progress though. Hayden Gibson, and I think first weekend with us, if I remember correctly, certainly first weekend since I've been doing the announcing, and he's made 2 passes there. So yeah, getting stuck in. Here we go, Mitchell Green trying to find a way past Mathes. He's got a good run out of turn 11, up over the crest. But this is a good indicator of how hard it is to pass here, and it's championship rival Jan Bernier, 1 car in front. I suppose, you know, yeah, while you want to minimise the gap between you, you also don't want to chuck it off now or get a steward's penalty, because if you do, you'll be way further back than if you just hold position. And that's where the teams sometimes get involved, like they did yesterday with Mitchell, saying hold your ground.
Yeah, Mitchell and Jan put on a show also at Le Mans.
Did they?
Yeah, they were fighting together. Mitchell took the lead. He had to cut the first chicane. He took the lead. He took the win, and after the race, he was giving penalty.
Right.
So the win of race 2, I believe, went to Jan.
Yeah, it's like their careers.
So they travelled overseas and they met on track again, and fighting for the same piece of tarmac.
Discovering a new circuit together, but the same rivalry for the top step on the podium, yeah. It is a bit of a travelling family from that point of view, isn't it, when you go to these various different tracks all around the USA, all around the world doing the various things we do, and you keep running into the same faces, engineers who cross over between different championships, drivers sometimes too, like, I love seeing some of the modern day drivers doing different series. Sebastian Loeb has been a good example, doing, you know, rallying, touring cars, rallycross. Matthias Ekstrom, another favourite of mine, you know, the DTM, then rallycross rally, the Dakar. You don't see all-rounders in the same way now, but I do love to see drivers try different things. I particularly love it when you see a driver go and ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's a difficult discipline.
Yeah, Hamilton's done it. Colin McRae did it back in the day, and you know, they love it. They're properly into
Michael
it.
did it. Schumacher did it.
Did he? Yeah.
He hurt himself.
What, right, really?
Yeah, his return to F1 was almost not certain because he had some vertebral issues.
From a motorcycle.
From Superbike.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can't resist it. But to be good at both, and of course that was back in the day, that was the other thing, is to cross over between 2 and 4 wheels. Even more respect for that. Valentino Rossi from 2 wheels to 4. Love it. Endurance racing now. 4 minutes remaining in this one. Gutierrez leads in the AM category. The gap is 5 seconds. Hopkins 0.8 off the back of Porter, so the fight still goes on for P2. We didn't see what happened to Rubbo, who was in that train of cars. Then Bernier, Mathes and Green, you can see, are within 1.1 seconds of each other from P4 through to P6. But this is your man, your leader. Gutierrez in the 2-1T car. It's his test chassis car. So his spare car with 4 minutes remaining, so 3 laps remaining. Gutierrez still has a 5-second lead. Out front of Pirelli, Roberto Perina 5.2 up the road, and the gap back to Grinzevich is 6.4. Brian Cook is now 1.1 off the back of Grinzevich. So Cook still trying to close down the gap to George in front. But at the moment, the top 3 fairly well spread out. Yeah, there is Porter and Hopkins. Mitchell Green's dropped a little way off the back of Mathes now. And in fact, Mathes is having a look at Bernier. There are, as we say, still at least 2. I think it'd be 3 laps to go.
Yeah, Korean flag racing today. A little bit bigger gaps with different groups. Perina has cleared Kaminsky with over 5 seconds. Same thing, Gutierrez has 4.6 seconds the last time by on the start and finish. So more based on a pace today than actual fighting for the places. So
I think less mistakes as well. You know, when we had mistakes yesterday, you see those battles come to life because someone messed it up and then someone else gets a run on them. And with these drivers not making so many mistakes, it's not been so easy to get the action going.
30 minutes here, you start to feel the physical side as well. Not a lot of areas where the driver can really breathe or relax. You're always focused in the corner. After that, there is a small straight line and another medium to high speed corner. So a driver's track, but you are on it the whole time. And difficult here is if you relax a bit, you lose a lot of momentum and it's easier to make a mistake. So you just need to be in the same rhythm the whole race distance. Yeah, Perina is putting a good show. He's
Oh, Mitchell Green on the outside of Mathes. We didn't see what happened prior to that, but finally he's got through with a minute 30 left. Is he going to go after Bernier in front of him? These two fighting for the title.
That was a waiting game. A lot of pressure from Mitchell Green, and he finally was able to do the move. So now we have a fight for that place.
We know this is when things get tricky with tyre wear, don't we? So you just run a little bit wide, but you got to nail all your apexes, all your braking points the whole time to get it done.
Yeah, this is the fight to watch now. This is the championship leaders in Pirelli Am, and Mitchell has a lot of pace.
Yeah, he does, but is he going to... I think he's too far back to do something, but I don't know. He's close now. Are we seeing the white flag? Are we seeing the white flag, or is that going to be next lap? Next lap. Okay, so yeah. Okay, another whole 2 laps to go then. So there is an opportunity here, but seeing as how long it took to get past Mathes, if Bernier keeps himself together, in theory this would be tough.
Yeah, even Jan is trying a lot. You can see that he's giving everything he has right now.
They'll be loving this. They will be absolutely loving this because last year they were getting into a fight with each other, and this year the same. Mitchell Green with a slightly different livery to last year. I think actually Bernier's might be as well, but they're still very familiar. And Bernier understeer to oversteer, back to understeer again in the middle of the corner, and Mitchell Green will have seen that. He can smell blood here, and like a shark, he's going after it, isn't he?
Yeah, he had a good run now, 5 and 6.
Up towards the top here, over the crest in the kink at 7 into 8 and 8-8, the famous corkscrew. And then we have
Mitchell
rain
is a
curve.
bit more conservative braking zone into corkscrew. He was very good on this lap, turns 5 and 6. Lost a little bit, corkscrew, mid corner and down the hill. Jan running wide again a little bit, so he's losing grip on his tires.
So the leaders are onto their final lap. These guys will come onto their final lap now, remember. And this is actually...
No drama, gentlemen.
No drama. We've had a lot of drama. We're fine without any drama. This is only the battle for P4, but the reason it's important is these two are the top 2 in the championship. I think with them finishing behind each other like this, Green would retain the point, retain the lead. Has a look on the inside again. Mitchell Green's got 1 point, remember, for fastest lap. But neither of them got pole. Gutierrez got the point for that. So they'll finish a couple of points apart here. And Green, I think, had 4 points yesterday. So Mitchell Green should leave Laguna Seca as the championship leader. But this man, what an absolutely brilliant job. He's been a different driver than he was yesterday. Pirina hasn't won since 2024. Last year, it was all about Massimo. Here at Laguna Seca, it's all about Roberto Pirina. With his first win in a couple of seasons, what a brilliant drive by him. P1 here at Laguna. Top man.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Team gave him a faster car today, and he delivered in qualifying at the race start, and what a dominant performance in this 30-minute race.
Yeah, brilliant job. Perina takes it from Kaminsky and Grinzovic. Here comes Gutierrez now, down towards the finish line, just the left-hander to go, turn 11. Gutierrez flashing his headlights as he crosses over the line. He will take the win here in the AM category, weaves across the line in celebration with his team. Behind him, Porter and Hopkins. There's Porter, Hopkins 2, Bernier and Green. No change in the positions there. Michael Mathes gets P6 in the category. And then Hayden Gibson, having made a couple of passes, will move up as well. Hand out the window in appreciation. Roberto Pirina, great job. He's just chilling, driving around. The other cars coming past. He said, I'm cool with that. You weren't going to get past me in the race. But he's done it now. I think it was Sonoma and Cota that he won out in 2024. But good job here. lights to flag, got it done off the start line and never looked back. Kaminski, solid job for the championship P2. Got away from Grinzovic as well. But be interested to see now if Pirelli, has he found just something that's made the 296 work for him? Will it work everywhere? Or is it just something special that he found here in terms of the book of settings for the unique challenge that is Laguna Seca? Sonoma up next. We say it's just 3 hours down the road. Grassy surround to a roller coaster first half of the lap, and then a very high-speed run back down the drag strip. Roberto Pirelli pulls in winner last year. Let me look at my stats. He was brilliant last year, but he had P2 so many times. His nephew Massimo Pirelli, the champion last year. Roberto, I'm sure, had a couple of 1-2s with him. Yeah, he had a run of podiums last year from Miami onwards. 2 P3s in Miami, a second and a third in Indy, a second and a third in Watkins, and he was P2, both races at Laguna and both races at Mugello in Italy for Finale Mondiale. So Pirelli has been waiting for this win for quite some time. Don't forget as well, we're on race number 8 here this year. He had a P3 in Thermal and he had a P2 in Sebring, another P3 in Kota. So he's been on the podium at every round, but he hasn't been on the top steps, we say, since 2024, and it was a brilliant victory. Really very good indeed against Kaminski, who is the man of the moment, the pace driver, and Pirelli's got it done. Kaminski pulls into Parc Ferme for second place, George Grinzovic in for third, and in between them will slot Roberto Pirelli for that win. Great stuff. Yeah, cheering in the background, family, friends, team there. Takes his glasses off, chucks them on the dash. Harnesses, all your comms, your drinks need to come off next. It's a bit of a palaver getting out the car, but I think it'll be a big celebration. Here it is. Roberto Pirelli, a winner again in Ferrari Challenge. First time since 2024. Great drive here at Laguna Seca. High fives with the team. Yeah, he's shaking his head, bit of disbelief. No need for disbelief. It was a fantastic drive. Yeah, that's great to see, isn't it? Michael Porter going over to greet him in Parc Ferme. Kevin Gutierrez still in the car, having taken the win. Hopkins on the outside. Very cool crash helmet as well, I have to say, here for Roberto. The Ferrari on the side and the race number on the top. Helmets and balaclavas off. You can see it's a bit hotter in the car. Ah, fantastic. Congratulations all round. Nina Jade is down there to try and grab him as well. We'll get a chat with our winners any minute. George Grinzovic, I think, must have one of his kids there, or a member of the family with him. See from the high shot. Gutierrez finally out the car. Applause in the background. Lovely job. He's had a P2 and a P3 this year. Had a pole position as well at Sebring, but it didn't work out. It's worked out this time. Gutierrez with the win. His first win of the season. Nina Jade is with Roberto Pirelli. What a brilliant drive.
Yes, a very happy Roberto Pirelli. Roberto, your first win since Sonoma 2024. I know this has got to feel good. Talk us through the beginning of that race and your overtake on Johnny, which was the key today.
I mean, the truth of it is I knew that I needed to get past Johnny immediately. Otherwise, he was going to be, I mean, he's just so good. I mean, he's a future pro champion. So for me to get past him, I knew that if I got past him, I could get into my rhythm. and run the track like I know how to do. So, yeah, it was critical to get past him in the first corner, and we managed it, so it was great.
Well, you and the car were at one today. You were completely dialed in. What was the tweaks that you made overnight?
Well, I've got to thank the team because they did. Our engineer, John Walco, and the entire team made a change to the car and the setup that saved the rear tires and just brought us into, I mean, it was just a zone. And honestly, it just kept clicking fast lap, fast lap, fast lap. It felt good. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't difficult. Finally got back into the rhythm. It felt really good, yeah.
Sonoma next, where you took your last win. How are you feeling about that?
I like these West Coast races. I like these rhythm tracks. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to enjoy this one now.
Enjoy it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Very happy indeed, and rightly so. It was a fantastic drive. We say lights to flag, or flag to flag with the green flag at the start of the race. Roberto Perina finding something in the car overnight, finding something in himself overnight. 0.3 quicker in qualifying this morning. Got himself on the front row and got himself in front of Kaminsky. So your winner, Roberto Perina from Johnny Kaminsky and George Grinzovich. Third double podium here for George this weekend. Fantastic job by him. Brian Cook, Tony Davis, Brad Fowler, David Beaton down to P7 in the Pirelli runners. Kevin Gutierrez, the winner in Pirelli AM. And then it was Michael Porter and Gregory Hopkins for the podium. Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green, the championship fighters, are side by side in P4 and P5. So that'll be very close at the top of the table. Mathes and so on down to the bottom of the table. Joe Rubo, unfortunately, retiring when he was in the thick of that battle. Kevin Gutierrez, with his first win this season, is with Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, your first win. Kevin Gutierrez, you're absolutely chuffed. I mean, you looked completely checked out in that race. Talk us through it.
Yeah, not too often things go according to plan in motor racing, but today things went according to plan. I really tried to push the first 10 minutes to try to get the biggest gap possible. And from there, I just managed the gap. Once it was about 5 seconds, just tried not to overdrive, not to overly push, and save my tires for the end of the race. And what a wicked feeling.
I mean, it's great momentum to carry into the next round as well. What are your thoughts on Sonoma looking ahead?
We'll see. I mean, right now, let's just enjoy this one, and we'll think about Sonoma maybe later this week.
Enjoy it, Kevin.
Thank you so much. Wait, one more. You cut off? Happy birthday, Mom, and happy Father's Day, Dad.
Good lad. Just at the last second, you cut off? No, we're not cutting you off, Kevin. You're all good. You're a winner today. You can do what you like, so that's lovely. An emotional-looking Kevin Gutierrez. Slow-mo footage of him down in turn 11. Fantastic job. Got it done. Let's take a look at the championship standings then after race number 8, weekend number 4. Johnny Kaminsky still leads, and he leads by 51 points. Roberto Perina now just in front of Brad Fowler, swapping positions there. George Grinzovich doing a good job with Brian Cook in P5. Manny Franco P6, Esteban Beckman and David Beaton down to P8 in Pirelli. And then it's Weisman, Davis, Clark, Fowler and McCarthy. Beautiful backdrop here. And we move on to Pirelli and Mitchell Green leads, and the gap is still 4 points. Jan Bernier there. So with the bonus points, the positions they finished in, that's where we're at. So it's going to be great to see them fight it out over the remaining round. There's Michael Porter and Kevin Gutierrez not far apart between them. Look, just 2 points in it. Matthew Diel holds on to 5th. Tough weekend, I think, for Matt here. Martin Burrows, P6. Hopkins, 7th. Michael Mathes in P8, moving up a couple of places with the win yesterday. Logan Chang, Rubo, Vensler, Ash Chung, Hayden Gibson. Good debut here as well. Nicely done for the Pirelli Am drivers' standings. Well, a little debrief going on for the teams down here in Parc Ferme. Stay with us because it won't be long now. We'll be getting the drivers up onto the podium here at Laguna Seca. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for the fourth round of Ferrari Challenge North America, coming to you from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. We're delighted to have you here with us, and we're ready to get our first winners out onto the podium. We're going to begin with the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli class. So please give it up. Double podium this weekend in P3, George Grinzrich III. In second place, your championship leader, Johnny Kaminsky. But in P1 with a brilliant drive today and on the top step of the podium for the first time since 2024, give it up, Roberto Perina. Please now remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. I'd like to introduce to the stage Ferrari ambassador and your co-announcer this weekend, Tony Villander. Trophies going to our winners, P3 to George Grinzrich III, well done. Second place, Johnny Kaminsky, our winner yesterday. And today's winner, Roberto Perina. We'd also like to invite Lucio Vagani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner. Please now welcome a representative from Ferrari of Seattle to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award, once again presented by Tony Villander. Congratulations, everybody. Hold those trophies up for the pictures, please. Big round of applause for our drivers. And now you can get the trophies down. It is time for the champagne! Next up, we invite the winners from the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM class up onto the podium. In third place, Gregory Hopkins. In second place today, give it up for Michael Porter. And your winner today, first time win for Kevin Gutierrez. Please now then remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome Mel Harder, President for Laguna Seca Raceway. Third for Gregory Hopkins. Second place, Michael Porter. And lovely to see Kevin Gutierrez enjoying his national anthem on the top step of the podium there. Please also welcome Lucio Vagani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager, from our partners at Pirelli to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Kevin Gutierrez. Also onto the stage, a representative from Ferrari of Fort Lauderdale to accept the Trofeo Pirelli AM Team Award, once again presented by Mel Harder, the president for Laguna Seca Raceway. Congratulations, everybody. Hold those trophies up high for the photos, please. A big round of applause for our podium. And now trophies down. It is time for the champagne! Next up, we're going to invite the winners for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell category. So in third place, give it up, Chuck Whittle. In second place, Blake Rosser. Rosser, your championship leader as well, but the winner today, Charlie Menard. Great drive by Charlie, checking out at the front of the pack. Please also give it up for our Gentleman's Cup winner, Mike Luley. Please now remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. To present the trophies, please give it up for Louis Colmash, Ferrari North America. So that's third place for Chuck Whittle. Second place going to Blake Rosser. But a fantastic drive from Charlie Menard today. Super clean race, great lap times, and your winner. There we go. Gentleman's Cup going to Mike Luley on the right-hand side of the podium. And now please welcome a representative from Twin Cities Performance to accept the Copper Shell Team Award, once again presented by Louis Colmash, Head of Sales for Ferrari North America. Congratulations to everybody today. Hold the trophies up, please, for the photographers and for the crowd. And then if you don't want to get a shower, it's time to run, because it is time for the champagne! On then to our final podium for the day, the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell AM category. In third place, a brilliant drive today, Jamie Garrett. 2 times P3 this weekend, actually, for Jamie. In second place, Fabian Sperman. And your winner today with a fantastic drive and a double win as well, Tim Dweet, P1, top step of the podium. Another round of applause for our Ladies' Cup winner, Jamie Garrett, already up on the podium. And give it up as well for our Gentlemen's Cup winner, Lance Corley. Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. I'd like to introduce Aldo Cellino, Ferrari North America showroom, to present the trophies to our winners. Ladies' Cup and Gentlemen Cup being handed over to Jamie and Lance. Finally, please welcome a representative from Ferrari Dallas to accept the Copper Shell AM Team Award, once again presented by Aldo Cellino, Ferrari North America showroom. Congratulations, everybody. Please hold those trophies up high for the photos and for the crowd. And then I think you know what to do. One last time here at Laguna Seca. Trophies down. And it is time for the champagne! There we go then, our racing is done here at Laguna Seca, weekend number 4. We've got 2 weekends left to go for Ferrari Challenge North America here on the North American side of the Atlantic before we head to Barcelona and the circuit Barcelona, Catalunya for the finale. Mondiali last year, it was in Italy. This year, as we say, it is in Spain. That'll be a great way to end the season, but at the 2/3 point, we've got some decent championship battles going on. And some mixed fortunes this weekend. Some of them have got a little bit closer. Some of them have become a little bit firmer in terms of what we're expecting for the winners. P2 and P3 very much up for grabs as well in a number of the different standings. So all to play for the rest of the year. Photos going on down on the podium now. Celebrations all round. It's Fabian Sperman with his brother just down in the paddock. Champagne and trophies. The whole family here this weekend. Except for the one brother, Gustavo. We mentioned him already. We can mention him again. Nina Chase managed to get hold of Jamie Garrett. Double P3 this weekend. Fantastic job.
Jamie, covered in champagne, rightfully so, as you should be. What a lovely weekend, really successful.
Yes, it was very successful. I worked really, really hard. I had some good guys behind me, pushing me, making me want to go faster and do better. And here we are, P3. Again today, very, very proud of all the performances from this weekend.
I mean, you have been incredibly consistent in the past couple of races as well. How are you feeling about Sonoma looking forward?
Well, Sonoma's another racetrack that I really, really love, and I've been successful at during Club Challenge, so I'm looking forward to what's to come in Sonoma.
Well, rest up and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
Jamie.
Bye-bye.
Lovely to see everybody all relaxed once the pressure is off and the racing is done. Little chats going on between everyone with their podiums and the Ferrari staff as well. Champagne, if you're wondering, is not the greatest thing to be sprayed in. It really hurts when you get it in your eyes. And once it's been on the overalls for quite a long time, it gets a bit stinky. But that's fine, because it also means you've been on the podium. So there are upsides and downsides to the podium. You'll often find the drivers won't spray each other on day one because they know the consequences of sitting in a hot, sweaty race car the following day in that race suit that's been soaked in champagne. But, fantastic. Fantastic. Kevin Gutierrez just saying, wow, wow, wow. Kevin looked really emotional up on the podium when the national anthem played. I think it's that moment you've been waiting for when you're looking to get the top step, and then suddenly you're there and it's hats off and the national anthem plays. So, yeah, very happy for him. There you go. Good job. Good job. Various teams jumping up on the podium for those pictures. Don't jump too much. We do a lot of cleaning up in between the podiums, but I don't know if we do at the end. A light breeze here at Laguna Seca, but the sun has come out. It's been a fantastic weekend of action for both the drivers and the guests in Casa Ferrari as well. Here is a look at Parc Ferme. Roberto Prina, top step of the podium for the first time since 2024. Good job by him, but good job as well by Fabian Sperman, who's with Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, Fabian, you didn't get the win today, but you have had a double podium this weekend. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Of course, I was aiming for the win today, but Tim did a great job. He passed me on the start, and it was almost impossible to catch him. I make a mistake, tried to catch him, and second, it's a great result. I'm happy. Enjoy Father's Day with the family. It was a great weekend. Two double podium, as you say.
A really successful Father's Day for you then, Fabian. We have Sonoma coming up next. Do you think that track will suit you?
Yeah, I love the track. I like the track. At the beginning, the first time I raced here last year was like whoa, but now I really like it. I enjoy the hills. It's very tricky and nice, very technical track. I love it. And I love it.
And will you have the family there as well in Sonoma?
Yeah, probably. We're working on that.
Yeah,
I'll have more pressure.
They're all behind you now, but we'll hopefully see you all in Sonoma. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to see the family fan clubs coming along, don't we? That's the way to go to get the support. Ferrari's looking beautiful down there, glinting in the sunlight. Cleaned very regularly, I can assure you. Open for the public to come and look around. Lovely display of the beautiful design from this fantastic company. Saw a great thing on the local news yesterday. There was a guy who'd been here at Laguna Seca, and they covered Ferrari Challenge on the local news here in Monterey. And he'd been here with his little boy, and he said, I've had such a great day. He said, I could go in the paddock, and he said, I was allowed to go on the grid. He said, I've been at a lot of motor races, but I've never been allowed on the grid. He said, and we went on the grid to see the drivers just before the start, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I was so stoked for him. When we work in the sport as we do, we have the very great privilege of having enormous access to motorsport events that a lot of fans would only dream of. And I think it's so nice that such a premium brand as Ferrari opens up these areas outside Casa Ferrari with these incredible cars for people to come and look at and touch and sit in and take photos of and not feel that they're not allowed to, and then even to invite them onto the grid with the incredible racing machines. Yeah, brilliant stuff. It's been a great season so far in 2026. We've already got 2027 dialed in. Let's have a look at the calendar for next year.
Oh.
There we go. Great to see the calendar for next year already. Super organised Ferrari. There's the beautiful prancing horse logo on top of the Ferrari Motorsport trucks. And here is Parc Ferme again. So yeah, next year starting in Thermal as we did this year, but then heading over to Sonoma earlier on in the year. Sonoma last year was the first one, and this year it is our second to last event. We go back to COTA as we did this year. Circuit of the Americas is fantastic in Austin, Texas. And then up to Mosport in Canada. It's a new track for me. Tony Villander, that my co-commentator, has been there before. But, yeah, new track, I'm sure, for a lot of the drivers as well. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen, and then the finale, Mondiale, which is a TBC. Some classic machinery on display as well. And we have had a classic weekend of racing for Ferrari Challenge North America under the beautiful blue skies of California, and we won't be going far away for the next one. The trucks will be loaded up tonight, and then they will head just 3-4 hours north over the Golden Gate Bridge and up to Sonoma, where we will see you in 5 weeks' time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Nina J. Paul, Tony Villander. My name's Andrew Coley. We'll see you at the next one.